Hello and welcome to Mrs. Law's class. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to find common factors, and more specifically, how to find the greatest common factor of some terms. Now, factoring means to write a number, a term, or even an expression as a product. So, for example, let's say we have the number 30. Now, you've probably learned how to do this before, but we can take 30 and we can draw a factor tree to write the factors out. So for example, we can say that 30 is equal to 5 times 6, and 6 is equal to 2 times 3. So we can say that 30 is equal to 2 times 3, and then times 5. I usually like to put them in numerical order. Now we can do the same thing with a term where there are variables. So first we're going to take 18 and we're going to draw a factor tree. So we have 2 times 9, and 9 is 3 times 3. So we can say that 18 x squared y is equal to 2 times 3 times 3, but also we have the variable x. We have 2 of them because it's x squared. And we also have a y. And this is how we factor a number and also a term. Now that we know how to factor, let's look at how to find common factors. So a common factor is a number, a variable, or it could be a product of a number and a variable, but it must be a factor of every term. Now, to find the common factor, write each number or expression as a product of its factors. And then we're going to identify the factors that are the same. So for example, let's just start with numbers here. So we have 24, 42, and 60. So I'm going to list them out like this. And if I drew a factor tree for each one, I would see that 24 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. 42 is equal to 2 times 3 times 7. And 60 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3 and times 5. So we can see that the number 2 occurs in all three of the numbers, and the number 3 also occurs in all three of the numbers. So therefore we can say that 2 and 3 and 2 times 3, which equals 6, are all common factors of 24, 42, and 60. Now we can see that out of 2, 3, and 6, 6 is the greatest common factor of 24, 42, and 60. Now, when the greatest common factor is known, or the GCF is known, the sum of 2 or more numbers can be written as a product, which I'll show you here. So let's say we had those same three numbers, 24, 42, and 60, and we were adding them all together. So we can say that 24 is the same as 6 times 4. 42 is 6 times 7. And 60 is 6 times 10. So all of them have the greatest common factor, 6. So I'm going to rewrite each of these numbers as 6 times whatever the other factor is to get us these three numbers. So then we can actually say that we can write this as 6, and then we open up a bracket, 4 plus 7 plus 10. So what I've done is I've actually done the reverse of the distributive property. So when we distribute, we go 6 times 4, and then plus 6 times 7, and then plus 6 times 10, which actually is going from this step to here. So what I'm now doing is rewriting it as a product of 6, bracket, and then each of the other factors of each of the numbers. Now the purpose of this is that this will lead us into factoring expressions later on. Let's take a look at finding the greatest common factor of terms instead of just numbers. So same as before, I'm going to rewrite this like so that we can see this a little bit clearer. And the factors of 2x cubed will be 2. And we have some x's this time, so we're going to write x, x, and x. And then 4x squared is equal to 2 times 2 times x times x. And then negative 6x is equal to negative 2 times 3 times x. Now actually, instead of writing this as negative 2, I'm actually going to rewrite this as negative 1 so that we can see that there's a negative here, times 2 times 3, and then times x. So what do we have in common here? So all of the terms have a 2, and all of the terms also have an x. So we can now say that the greatest common factor is 2 times x. All right, let's try this one more with another set of terms. In these ones here, we have x's and y's. So let's rewrite this out again, like so. So we have 3 times x times times y for the first term. In the second term, we have 6, which is made up of 2 times 3 times x, and then we have y times y times y times y and times y. So what is common to all of them? So they both have a 3, they both have an x, and they both have a y, but also another y. So then we can say that the greatest common factor is 3 times x times y, or we can put it all together and say this is 3x times y squared. And that is how you find the greatest common factor of some terms.